Good evening, educators. Welcome to my channel, Tea and Teachers. Today I am back with the most debatable topic, that is memorization. So let's understand whether memorization is a right tool or a technique which we use in the education or it's not worth using it. So सबसे पहले समझते हैं कि memorization होता क्या है. Memorization means teaching children through rote learning. जो बार बार हम रिपीट करवा करवा के बच्चों को याद करवाते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड मेमोराइजेशन. तो क्या मेमोराइजेशन हेल्प्स द चाइल्ड इन कॉग्निटिव इंडिपेंडेंस? ये समझ के लेते हैं. बिकॉज मेमोराइजेशन and cognitive development are related to each other. Memorization has its own advantages and disadvantages. Like I always say, कि a teacher goes into the class and she deposits the information in the child's mind, and that is called the बैंक एजुकेशन. जैसे हम पैसा डिपॉजिट करते हैं बैंक में, उसी तरह एक टीचर आती है क्लास में एंड इफ शी जस्ट डिपॉजिट्स द इंफॉर्मेशन टू द चिल्ड्रन एंड द चिल्ड्रन पुट इट इन देयर माइंड्स, दैट इज becomes like a bank education. But is this bank education right for the children? So let's understand memorization importance and also the disadvantages. So why memorization is important? It is one of the tool which it has been used in the ancient times and during many years of education. Memorization is used to make the children remember few things which are the basics of the education. So if you ask the children to learn tables, especially when they are in the preschool or when they are in the primary section, yes, memorization is important. Then only they will be able to remember, because then they need to know the basic tables of 2 to 10 to move ahead to know the higher number tables and the mathematical equations. Same thing if you ask them to learn preposition. If you give them a list of the words of preposition, yes, that is important. If you give them the list of describing words, so these are the describing words and you need to know it. So there the children will have to memorize, because these are the basic techniques how a children are taught to learn. But if you go to the little higher level and if you are not giving them a chance or the opportunity to think or to create something on their own, then this type of bank education is going to be useless. So as a teacher, what you need to do is understand what and where it is important the child needs to memorize. If there are formulas, yes. If there are tables, yes. If there are words, preposition, yes. Because these are the basic things where memorization is important and the children learn by rote learning. Also, when the teacher enters the class, the teacher has to do lecture. Lecture in the sense, if she does not share the basic knowledge before starting the chapter, it will not be useful. So she has to make the child recall whatever the child has learned in the previous years. So that is again memorization comes to help. So memorization is an important technique unless the teacher uses it in a proper way. It should not happen that the teacher is controlling the children's thoughts or the thought process. So you have to give them a chance to do critical thinking, to ask questions. So unless you give them that ability or you give them a part of the chapter or a part of a lesson saying ki here you need to do it on your own, or you have to come up with the question, or what is your opinion about this, or what is your understanding, or what if you are in this place, what are you going to be. So memorization is one technique and critical thinking is another technique. So memorization is also important to move there. Now if you are giving this question to the children ki you need to think, so unless the child has the basic knowledge memorized, the child will not be able to do the critical thinking or thinking skills on its own. So that is why memorization is also an important technique, but to a level where the teacher has to understand that you cannot just ask them to mug up the question answers without understanding the concept. So as a teacher, make it a point to bifurcate where memorization is important and where it is not required, so that you can develop your children's potential of creating and making something new, coming up with some new technology, or coming up with something new which they are able to create on their own. So do understand as a teacher that memorization is a toolkit which can only be used when it is necessary, where the child requires to retrieve the information later on. I hope you have understood the importance of memorization. If you have liked the topic of today, please do like and share my channel, T and Teacher. If you have any comments, please put it in the comment box below.